thinking about taking Shield Master, as I had previously. No one else is really as shield heavy as Ansel, so it seems pretty fair unless anyone else was looking at it. It gives me some utility with my bonus action, which you don't really get with clerics all that much outside of your original like sanctuary spell or shield of faith, and protects me against dex saves as well. So
have at it, and from my perspective,
yeah, that's my thought. Like, I will usually with a character like this go for, your standard like the battle war mage or whatever the fuck it's called, warcaster, but that seems much more like a thing we should discuss as a group. But I figured, except Asta has a shield, yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. So you were the only one I didn't know if you would want. You were looking at Shield Master, but everyone else, I was like, they don't shield. So
my main stat's Dex, so pretty useless.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I was like, no one's gonna want it, so
get it.
Oh, that's not true. Stefania took it. She wanted it.
That's fair enough. Fair call.
So sorry.
Pretty hard.
Wrong answer, Diesel.
Like...
So but Dean, you know me, the lore bitch. If Stefania doesn't carry a shield into every single scene and combat for the rest of the campaign, I will come after you.
You don't have to carry a shield to be shielded, so...
No, it specifically says while you are wielding a shield, referencing the specific physical.
Does mental possession count as wielding?
I presume no.
Just play.
Alex, I assume, do you have 5e tools open at the moment?
Of fucking course I do.
What's the name? Thank you. I cannot remember the name of the feat that allows you to move more.
Mobile.
Mobility?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just called mobile.
Or mobile, that's right.
What is the full... Can you read it to me very quickly?
Your speed is increased by 10 feet. You can dash on difficult terrain without issue, and you don't provoke opportunity attacks in melee.
Okay.
Do you also have 5e tools open, or is that just like in your soul?
Well, it is technically in my soul because it is one of my highest level characters has mobile, and he's a drunken monk, and so he just literally goes around and constantly punches people and just runs around.
Did you make Rock Lee?
No.
We have.
No.
Are you sure you didn't make Rock Lee?
Yeah, because my guy is an asshole who somehow became leader of the group and is like, I do not want to be leader of the group. Stop making me be leader of the group.
That is not Rock Lee. That is correct.
Okay.
We have 6 players.
Yes, there are 6 players.
Alex, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what either of you are doing.
You count in sign language. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, I did not know that. Y'all want to know how many de-inspiration I had from the last campaign?
Too many?
Disgusting.
18.
Oh,
yeah.
I was right.
Because you didn't have a little plucky
kobold
I know to keep alive.
So everyone gets 6 de-inspiration. I rounded up.
Okay, I have no idea how many I have because I can't get in the game right now, but I'll deal with that later.
Cool.
But I also have to dip for my meeting. I'll be back.
Everyone say thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean.
Okay.
Generous overlord.
I try.
Now to increase the difficulty.
But still an overlord.
Right. I mean, he had already just like added 50% to the health pool of every enemy as soon as you said you made a broken character. So, like, what are we really doing? We're just catching up.
All right. Now that Misha's gone, who's got a journal?
I don't remember what happened last time.
I can
Where
read
are-
my journal.
That would be
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I yelled at Wink to let us talk to the family. We got a map. Was the map
Mhm.
last time, or was that the one before?
It
That
the
was
one before.
before.
Was the one before? But we talked to Who's What's Its family about
I thought we like set
their
out.
beliefs.
We were on our way, I thought.
No, not yet.
Shows what I know.
I think we were like about to be, and then we were like, okay, time
It's
for
absent.
bed.
Would you like me to recap?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please.
Party is in Shadowgrange. Party visited Ismark at his home, met Irina, Ismark's wife. Party spoke with Ismark and Irina about the Inquisition and theology. You guys made checks to discern, like, what's going on with the mist, how much time has passed, blah, blah, blah. A party agrees to help Ismark bury his father. Ismark and Irina agree to guide the party to Lamos in exchange for protection on the road.
That's right.
Party buries the body and then splits. Tavern unit goes to the tavern to sell to the Bitter Hearts. House unit goes home to pack. Wink unit goes to Bildrath's and does thievery. Ended session with the tavern unit.
Right.
Also sent a letter, I think, too.
I don't remember.
Yes,
but
to your vampire overlord.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy Bear.
So
Yep.
much.
But I just turned on and see you guys on the camera. Hello. Dino, what are you wearing, my friend? Looking sharp.
So this was, I was supposed to go to a Stray Kids concert that didn't happen. And
Oh, yeah.
this was the outfit for the Stray Kids concert.
That will be rescheduled for 2023.
No.
And then we haven't
No, but
had...
probably yes.
I haven't had an Innistrad fix in a little over a month. And so I was like, you know what? I never got to wear the Stray Kids outfit. It's kind of goth. We haven't played Innistrad in a little over a month. It's kind of goth. I'm just going to wear the Stray Kids outfit to the Innistrad game.
Oh, yes.
Approve, my friend.
Thank you. All right. Does anyone have a journal that they would like to give now that you guys have a brief recap of what happened?
Let me see if I wrote anything last time. Let's see if past me did future me a solid.
I don't even remember which cohort I was in.
You were
Okay.
in... So...
In the tavern party.
Yeah, so Ansel and Idzy are in house unit because they were guiding Irina back to the house with the guards.
Yeah. Why were we doing that?
Wink went to the store and then everyone else went to the tavern.
Because she's literally like a persona non grata, and so needs protection home.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to go talk to people. And Itzy and Ansel were like,
Nah.
Yeah, maybe not.
Why?
Let's see. Do I have that?
I do have a journal, but I don't think it recaps last session. It's
It
just
doesn't
a
have to
internal
recap anything.
Struggle. Okay.
What we've learned about the Inspiration journals is that as long as it's something from your character's perspective, it counts.
Okay. Would you like me to go? Or?
Sure.
Okay. Gotta remember what that asked us, Max. Defeat. My defeat. My solitude and my aloofness. You are dearer to me than 1,000 triumphs, and sweeter to my heart than all world glory. defeat. My defeat. My self-knowledge and my defiance. Through you, I know that I am yet young and swift of foot, not to be trapped by withering laurels. And in you, I have found aloneness and the joy of being shunned and scorned. Defeat. My defeat. My shining sword and shield. In your eyes I have read that to be enthroned is to be enslaved. To be understood is to be leveled down. To be grasped is but to reach one's fullness, and like a ripe fruit, fall and be consumed. Defeat. My defeat. My bold companion, you shall hear my songs and my cries and my silences. And none but you shall speak to me of the beating of wings and urging of seas, and of mountains that burn in the night. And you alone shall climb my steep and rocky soul. Defeat. My defeat. My deathless courage. You and I shall laugh together with the storm, and together we shall dig graves for all that die in us, and we shall stand in the sun with the will, and we shall be dangerous.
You're so much like all of your effort is like all of our effort combined.
And like multiply. I was like, oh, I have just some like shit backstory stuff written down for Ansel. Maybe I'll do that, and that'll be my no, no, not following that up. Shit. But I
mean,
am
I'll
greedy.
follow it up, but it'll be bullshit.
Well, I mean,
I'm looking through photos from 17 so I can post them on Instagram.
bless.
I was looking because I wanted Remy to see my outfit.
It's a very cute outfit. I do want the inspiration, so we'll go. You see the. Sorry, I'll go. Per the DM's acquiescence.
What is happening?
Good. Okay. Excellent. Love it. So the book that opens like Snow White style, if you remember early Disney intros when they didn't know how to lead off a Once Upon a Time. Yes. It is leather bound, but clearly like not well. You have a feeling that this was like, that squirrel was tasty, and it'll help make up that piece of the binding that I don't have, kind of book. And the pages have that rough kind of like recycled poor people paper quality. And you've seen it a couple of times as Ansel has given. I meant poor medieval people. I didn't mean like modern poor people paper. I was specifically thinking of paper making like practices circa 1400.
It's fine.
No, Alex saw my face. I'm so sorry.
I also saw it.
Listen, let's just chalk it up to COVID brain. Just like we're a little slower.
Poor people. If you've ever like seen someone make paper from recycled newspaper, like that paper, okay. You've seen it a couple times as we've listened in on Ansel's thoughts. I just usually don't go this far because I'm usually like popping it off the dome to get that sweet inspiration. But we flip back and back and back and back and back to one of the very early entries, and it almost looks like these were taken. The paper's a little different, closer to something that maybe would be supplied by, like, for students, it for at like the clergy for their homework and things. So it's smaller pieces, maybe torn or pulled and stolen, and sewn in nonetheless. And in a pretty shaky hand, in charcoal that's kind of smeared over time, it says at the top of the page, Ansel's story. She grew up in a small hamlet called Jorn, south of Estwald, in like the safer part of the forests of Whittle. Mom died in childbirth, but her father was loving and devoted and supported himself and his only child through carpentry and wood carving. While Jorn was farther into the woods than most Abyssin-fearing folk would dare settle, it had emerged nonetheless thanks to some enterprising folk who recognized the financial opportunity of opening a waypoint on a pilgrimage route. Church officials came through just often enough to keep the worst of the horrors away, allowing it to do what passed for prosper in Innistrad. While there were no other native-born children in the hamlet, Ansel relied on the children of the pilgrims or those who came to trade for entertainment. This made her father nervous. He was wary of anyone who lived so far out in the woods that they had to come to Jorn to trade. But he couldn't find in his heart to deny his daughter companionship. Ansel's dearest friend was a dour little girl who would slink into Jorn on market days, rucksack filled with herbs and oddities to trade for basic necessities. Her presence made the older townspeople uncomfortable because they knew the types of people who lived deeper in the woods. But medicinal herbs were hard to get, and the girl didn't, smell the way all necromancers smell. So she was tolerated on market day. Tolerated by all except Ansel, who loved her to bits. This friend's name was Philome. The last time Ansel saw Philome was not market day. It was a stormy day, and Philome had snuck into Jorn under the cover of the rain. Ansel found her way to the back door. You have to get out. You have to go, but go. Philome rushed out, grabbing Ansel by the arms, looking back over her shoulder. Tell your mom and dad, you gotta go now. Ansel tried to ask questions, but Philome just shook her head and whispered, "Run," as she slunk back into the mist. That was the last Ansel ever saw Philome. It was not the last time Philome saw Ansel. Philome found her cold body much later, after the wraiths had finished their work and had set fire to her friend's body. She knew the stories Ansel had told her that burning a body releases the soul to water endlessly instead of getting to rest. Philome figured endless wandering still sounded better than her parents' plans for the victims of Jorn. Scene.
Okay, boy. That's dope. Like real fucking tragic, but dope as hell.
Very nice. I might have to start giving out 2D inspiration today.
We do sometimes. We do sometimes for the best journal.
Why I try so hard? Because the first one you gave me 2D inspiration, and I was like, well, if I try it every time, then maybe he'll give me 2, and then that just makes more sense. But I guess if I do it every time, it doesn't work that way.
You set the bar too high, my dude. You gotta skate along with mediocrity most
You
of the
gotta have
time.
like
wait.
one where you're just like, yeah, and Asta did some shit.
Yeah,
Don't know
I'll do
what.
that.
Did some
I'll do that
shit.
next time. Asta couldn't decide between porridge or one carrot for breakfast, and he was in a big dilemma.
There you go.
Just remember, there's a reason Guru does not do cave reviews every single time.
I know. As much as
But I
want
miss
you
them so much.
I know you too.
All right, who's next?
I mean, it's not gonna be like those. I'm gonna make something up as I go, like
I
I
like
usually do. Cool. Director's notes. So somehow this little section of Scaryville has removed itself from everything else? Maybe? Their beliefs? Wild. Heretical. Blasphemous. That's neither here nor there. Whatever they want. But now we're going to Lamaze to meet the Inquisitor. Or Inquisitress? Is it a lady now? I don't know. Which 6 months ago was someone we all knew and is now that person's distant descendant. Weird, creepy, heretical, and blasphemous, probably. Honestly, at this point, we've been here, what, less than a week? And stuff is already batshit crazy. So, this is not a great starting point for us if we're starting at batshit crazy. Where will we end? Alive or dead? Or somewhere in between? There is a vampire at play. They're not technically undead anymore, though, so that's a whole other conversation. Scene.
Do you have that sticky note with the fourth wall written on it that you ripped last time, Dean? Because you should definitely hold it up and rip it again.
I don't. I threw it away.
I don't remember this. I don't think you were there.
Someone did a journal, and I don't remember who it was.
I think it was Johnny.
Yeah, it was in the Clinmore game. And the whole thing was just like Deadpool talking to the camera, like the whole journal was. And so like I just grabbed a piece of paper, wrote fourth wall on it, held it up, and then just ripped it.
Mine are meant to be almost, because like I do call them director's notes.
Yes, no, I love that flavor. Yes.
Thank you.
Also, wouldn't it be vampire batshit crazy?
No.
Because of the vampire being in the mix?
No, I got your joke and decided to say no. Dean, I feel like you should know that there is a pun world championship, and you can become the world champion pun maker. There are a variety of categories.
Schmitz would.
That you can.
I was gonna say this is more of a.
Schmitz, let's go.
This is like a I'll be Mickey and Schmitz can be the Rocky of puns. Like
yeah. I don't.
He's in our.
He's in the Monday group. His pun game is like insane.
Redonkulous.
He doesn't even have children, so he doesn't have like the dad joke multiplier effect.
He's just.
I would really like for him and one of my coworkers to have like a pun off, because I really don't know who would win. He is just as bad as.
We don't need a black hole to open in North America, thanks.
Why not?
I mean, could it make things worse? I know the answer is yes, but like in the metaphorical, rhetorical sense. Alex's face says she's going to rip me to scientific shreds.
Nah, this is the face of someone who's like Sorry, we've put not existing back on the table?
Does Wink or Itzy have a journal?
Wink does, yes.
You said Wink does or does not?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I do.
Go ahead.
The city of Shadow Grange is a pathetic town. I was like,
My brain went there too, Alex. It's okay.
I was like, Sex in the City?
no, Shadow Grange. The town of Shadow Grange is pathetic. From estimates, it looks about 50 people are living here. They have no defenses at all, no standing walls, no guard patrols, and no leadership. This town also has multiple issues that it should be dealing with, not counting the larger than probably the population of the town undead problem, but also the fact that there seems to be a house that kills people, and their clergy also is killing people. Suggestions. My suggestion would be to destroy the entire town and start over, but I doubt that's going to happen. So, counter suggestion. First, build a wall around half the city, destroy the other half. Mostly the houses that are no longer being used, and probably the house that's killing people.
Make Shadow Grange great again.
Gross.
Second,
I don't, again, 50, even if you account for some youngins, is definitely enough for an orgy.
I don't think that there's actually 50, though. I thought that was very generous.
in truth, I was about to say, it's like, for being, I was actually going to say, generally speaking, but nonetheless. It's like,
you got 10, maybe.
second, elect a leader that is actually going to lead, not some pathetic person who spends time in a bar and asking random strangers for help.
How's that different from most leaders?
Well, I'm not saying most towns just need to re-elect their leader. Third, create barracks for most people to live in. That way they can start to connect with each other and form bonds. That way they're more likely to want to.
I regret nothing.
Phallic peg,
so
round hole.
sorry.
Get back into weak mode. Get back into weak mode. That way they can form bonds and start actually defending each other. Fourth, train those individuals to actually fight something instead of just sitting around dying, most likely. This will give the town a better chance of actually surviving. Fifth, and my least liked opinion, but something that needs to be happening, probably make a deal with whatever that vampire person was. Maybe offering sacrifices or whatever the hell she wants. That way, you at least have some kind of person maybe protecting the town, or at the very least not destroying it on a constant basis. I do not know how this town stands still, and I doubt I will be back here again, mostly because I doubt it will exist within the next few months. I will be glad when we get out of this town. Insane.
I've got happy banjo playing in my ears, and that was just the absolute perfect backdrop to that literal roasting of an entire civic society.
Alright, Idzy, you're up.
Well, I can't really say that this has been a terribly pleasant experience, but I mean, we made it. We found the people that we have to take, or who's going to help take us to where we need to go see the Inquisitor or the new Inquisitor, all that good stuff. Traveling. Didn't die after meeting the evil overlord. Besides that, I guess it's just one more sleep here and then we're on our way. if I got all that correctly when we were planning it out with the Lord and Madam. I'm really unsure how all this is gonna go, but we're just gonna give it a go and see what happens next in the week, since it's not been too long since we've set out on our journey. Don't die in the mist. Don't stick around anywhere too long. I call that pretty decent rules to follow. Scene. I got very low, sorry.
Alright, everybody gets 2.
Yay. Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome.
And remember, you all
The-
get
+6.
+6.
You say that like I can just go in and fingle it.
Oh, I
I
guess I
think
should give you
it-
guys... I should give you guys all your 6, shouldn't I?
I keep track of mine separately,
There you go.
So many.
as well as
I don't even keep track of my own goddamn XP and level.
Nobody
Who's
does.
feeling out this?
It's me. I'm taking a feat now.
How many
Yeah, I was
does it
about to
have to
say
be?
12.
12.
Or you can
12
you can also
points.
use your gold one as well.
But that's your cheat death one.
Oh, I ain't getting rid of that. I died last time I played with Dean.
You don't get rid of it's the way the card thing works is weird.
I will just be taking the feat that lets you take another fighting style. The fighting initiate.
Okay.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, you saw.
All
Oh,
right.
can you give them to Mish even though she's not in the game?
I did.
Okay.
I'll give her the 2 as well. I'm going to assume that she does have a journal. All right. So we left off after Wink's thievery at Bildreth's Mercantile. So we will pick up with the tavern unit. So the tavern unit was Ismark, along with Ro, Asta, and Elodie. So let's get the tavern with our sneaky assassin up top. All right. So you guys walk into the tavern. You see the 3 Bitterheart women sitting at a table playing cards with each other. Ismark walks up to the bartender, Eric, has a few words with him, and then turns and heads over to the table with the 3 Bitterheart women. Excuse me. Are you still interested in buying? The 3 women look up at him. Maybe. Why the sudden change of heart?
You may not have noticed, but this isn't exactly a happening place. Do I say that?
That sounds like a bad way to make a business deal, and you'd thrive on business deals, so I'd say it
Yeah.
was very out of character.
Let me talk really bad about the place we're trying to sell you.
What are they gonna? They are not like settle down people. What are they gonna do with it? I say that under my breath very quietly.
Does it matter to you?
I mean, yes, as an investment, I think this is a poor one.
But you're trying to get them to invest in it.
Yes, but I'm still going to judge the quality of their investments.
That's fair. That's fair.
Who would I be if not a judgmental bitch? That is in character.
Going to sell you crap and then judge you for buying the crap that I sold you.
Yeah. Snake oil. I say nothing. Everything is. I say nothing.
Ismark kind of takes a moment. My wife and I will be leaving Shadowgrange. And I don't know when, if we'll be back. And I don't trust anyone here to be able to maintain it. And since you have been adamant, I thought it only prudent that you be the first that I approach. The Bitterhearts all kind of look at each other. Give me blind checks, the three of you that are there. Well, except for Elodie, because she's not actually there.
Do we have tokens?
Oh,
or do we
probably
need to
not.
drag
You'll need to
them?
drag.
Okay. A click and blink check.
All right. As Ismark is talking to them, and then after he finishes, they exchange glances between each other. They don't say anything to each other, as they continue to play cards. Asta, you notice, they seem to be discarding in a very peculiar way. It seemed like the plays that they're making don't make sense for the game that they're playing. And it seems like perhaps they're using the playing cards to silently communicate with each other. Yes, Mayor.
Is it a tactic that I would know?
Not with the role you just gave me.
Okay. Bummer.
This is Asta would lean into Rill. It seems that this transaction that is going on is getting communicated in a way of playing cards. I assume we're away from them. We're just eavesdropping on this conversation, yeah? I think so, yes.
I mean, they're like we are all the only ones in here. It cannot be that loud. With Asta's tip off, can I try again?
Yeah, I'll let you try again.
Insight, perception.
Just give me the blind check. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The bling. Give me the bling.
Come on. There you go. Please be better. This is my whole shtick. Is it still bad?
That
Is it bad? Like, I could argue myself into advantage. Would it still be bad if I had advantage?
you can argue it. Why do your skills do not have any bonuses? Like, all of your skills are just a flat d20.
I have my. Nuh-uh. If I have. Like, if I roll insight plus 2d4.
Why is it not coming through?
Oh, maybe that's why I did bad.
No, you did bad because you rolled a 4.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it wasn't a 1.
That's so weird. Like, Asta's came through and all of his bonuses are showing. Oh, I think I know why. Asta, are you using the proficiency die?
Yeah, I believe so.
Proficiency bonus d4.
I think in my settings I've changed it. Yeah,
Hold on. Let's take a look.
I believe I tried.
I believe I
Dean
can
goes
fly.
to medal in all our sheets.
That's what I do. You do have it turned on.
Yeah, because it looks like mine gave me my skill, but not my
Your 2d4.
proficiency. Yeah.
At least we're having this problem now. And not halfway through the campaign.
Oh, I'm sure Roll20 will find a way halfway through the campaign to jack us up.
To give us something else, yes.
Okay. Well, what's your argument for advantage?
I've spent my whole life around, like, sleight of hand dealings and, like, under the table communication, and, like, using cards to talk is not that, like, inventive. Like,
The shade.
So
That's a
It's
solid
really not.
argument to me. Yeah, solid.
So, like, it should be easy enough to figure out, like, at least what they're like, their general idea. Alex, stop making that face, it's not helping. If, maybe not, like, exactly what they're thinking, but at least, like, do they feel positively about the idea? Do they want to pay more or pay less? Like, do they want to pay less? That kind of thing.
I'm gonna say no. Only because you have no way of knowing. It's kind of like understanding code, but then not having the cipher to a specific code.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That was the exact sequence of words I thought when I made that face, Mare. And I just transmitted it.
so it's like you can like with the argument, you can recognize what they're doing, but you wouldn't have any way to know like what specific cards mean to follow their conversation. Just that they are having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, since I have realized that they're having this conversation, would you like to share your negotiating thoughts with the class?
This one thinks she's clever.
On occasion, I have been known to be clever. I'm not saying I am
very
now.
rarely, though.
Do you have a tail?
The tail.
What? I was gonna step on it. I'll just elbow you instead.
Wait, not when Wolfie's not out. Like, what sort of cosplaying furry did you think this man was rolling around as?
This is D&D. Anything is possible.
Specifically the 2008 type of cosplay that people just rolled around in back in middle school, if you remember.
Excuse you, I 100% wore a foxtail from the Renaissance Fair to middle school. Please.
Yeah, I bet you fucking did. Why do you think I referenced that year? What makes you think I'm not about to buy one this year? Like,
A foxtail or a Renaissance festival?
I can't buy the festival, but I can buy a foxtail.
So I've been hanging out with Alex too much. I say so the same way you do now. Throwing like the R at the end of the word.
No.
I say it as if I don't also do it, babes. Don't even make that face. You know I find you irresistibly cute.
The Bitterhearts kind of after the little quibble between Asta and Ro. We are interested in purchasing the inn, of course, and looking to Ro. And I do believe there was an arrangement. I don't know if you guys remember, but they did say if you could get the owner to sell them the inn, they would offer you some assistance.
Defo did not remember, but that's a really
remember that.
cool
Okay.
present from past us. Yeah.
Cool.
I always thought, like, why is it the bad thing that the Bitter Hearts are buying the tavern, right? We want to get out of this town, so there's no point buying it ourselves. And Bitter Hearts have got connections outside.
Yeah, I didn't. What was it? Was it ever bad? I thought that.
No, I didn't think so. Me and my big mouth.
This is why Ansel is not there.
Well then, Ismark, what number did you have in your head? And he kind of looks around and kind of thinks to himself, I have no delusions that this place is worth more than what it appears. Its value is mostly sentimental. But I do have expenses and have an arrangement with these travelers, and I'm sure they would like to be compensated. So, with that in mind, and knowing your ability to acquire resources that no one else inside the mist can acquire, I believe a fair price. $1,000 gold. And the three bitter hearts kind of look at each other. You see them exchange, kind of play out another hand. Very well. will we be keeping the bartender? Ismark kind of looks over at Eric, and you see Eric behind the bar. You know, his kind of like pale gray skin tone, his kind of like emotionless face, as he's just mindlessly cleaning glasses, putting them on the shelf, and then once the last glass is cleaned, he moves to the end of the shelf and starts over. And looks back at the bitter hearts. Eric is as much a part of the tavern as the seats you are sitting in. So yes, you will inherit him with the building. Very well. All right, you have a deal. And each of them pulls out a coin purse, and then they pull together 1,000 gold and pass it over to Ismark. As for you, looking at Ro and Elodie and Asta, we'll see you in a day or two to discuss terms. Safe travels. Be well on the road.
And you?
With that, they get up. We're off to make preparations. No need to wait around for us. We'll find you when we're ready. And then they leave the building.
I really think they should have got another bartender.
Also,
He seems like...
no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. It's not gonna be a funny joke because I'm not a funny guy.
You're a liar, but that's okay.
So because I hate the artwork, I did find new portraits for Ismark and Irina.
Cool.
So, Ismark.
Rugged.
Much better. Less icky.
And Irina.
Haunted. Ooh, rugged and haunted.
Why will this not close? Close. Thank you.
Well, I'm, for one, ready to get out of this town as quickly as possible.
I meant to say +1 whiz fest.
Nice try.
Yo, I can't type today. Every time I try to say something snarky, it just ends up not being what I wanted.
We know. We all saw the exchange with Ryan.
Right? I was like...
That was a bit hard to watch.
I was like, I could edit this, or I could just own it. I'm just gonna own it. All right. So that does it for the tavern unit. What are you guys doing after the deal?
I assume going back to wherever we were, meeting the house group.
So the house party, right, we're just heading back. Irina was going to finish packing and getting ready for the trip. And then, her guards were with her to escort her along with Idzi and Ansel. So yes, the departure would be from their estate. Also, Alex, I put up handouts for the new Ismark and Irina.
So weird times. In their old iterations, Irina was 100% my type, Ismark not so much. You swapped them. This just... Y'all being bi is hard. There's too many hot people.
Okay.
Rem's over there dying because they know the hurt, and Mare's just like, what are you?
There are a lot of hot people.
Okay, I don't dislike women. I think women are pretty.
That wasn't a what are you, you weird identity. That was a what are you, you fucking drama queen.
Okay.
Which was the face you made.
I already freaked out today about like how hot a certain female chef was, so like I really can't say a lot at this moment in time. Because Dominique Kren occupies my brain all the time now.
Who?
He's an amazing French chef that lives in San Francisco and just got
No, I literally
recently
didn't hear who
married.
you said.
Oh, Dominique Kren.
Okay.
I will send her. Yes, I will send her stuff.
All right. So the tavern unit heads back to the house. And we will pick up with Ansel and Idzi. So you guys have escorted Irina to the house. The guards kind of take up positions on the main floor, kind of around the door. Are you guys doing anything or interacting with Irina while she's kind of packing things up and getting ready for the trip?
I mean, if she needs help with something, sure.
We got very solid Ice Queen vibes
Yeah.
last time. So
She didn't want anything to do with us, but we're here for extra protection.
yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna like expend the effort to be chummy, especially when they're like maybe ostensibly grieving. Like let them take what space they need. But we'll be around. Like, hey, like there's an extra presence here. Oh yes. Who can I give a spook? Are the guards pretty much just standing, or are they also helping like pack up and get things ready?
So they're like as she finishes packing a chest, and the guards will pick up the chest and move it to like the front foyer. But outside of that, they're not really helping. Like they aren't helping her pack. It's more or less just once things become heavier, they pick it up and move it to where it's closer to the exit.
Like every now and again, I will pass by and like brush someone's shoulder and give them guidance. Because they already know I do magic and it makes them uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But other than that, like if someone looks like they're slipping, I'm just like, there you go, bud. I don't say there you go, bud, though.
No.
That was the Alex narration.
Yeah, the first time you do it, the two guys are on either side of a large chest, carrying it toward the foyer. And you kind of walk by and kind of brush one of their shoulders, and kind of like as you kind of brush his shoulder, the chest just drops, hits the ground, and
Need some help there.
you look over as he's like wiping the sweat from his palms, on his tunic. No, I'm good, thank you. Don't need, nope, and have a nice day.
He does know he's
Please.
coming back up here, right?
Can I? What's my strength in this game? 14. Can I just take the side he was carrying?
Give me a strength check.
Good luck.
Yes.
Hey!
Yes, you can.
I give him a look over my shoulder like, this is obviously what I meant.
Oh, very, very, very nice. Yes. You're quite impressive. And yes. And he kind of like turns and just hurries around a corner.
Itzy absolutely fucking snorts. Like, that shit's hilarious.
Ansel just like kind of whispers to them like, is he afraid of me or coming on to me or both? I can't tell. I'm bad with people, but like the men subset specifically.
I think it's at this point it has to be both, right? I mean, I think you made him want
His
to wet
friend on
himself,
the
and
other
he
side
was
of the
like-
chest is just like, nah, no.
We can both be wrong about this, and I'm fine with that.
No, I'm very happy for us both to be wrong. It humored me, the fact that I'm whispering over to you, but tandem carrying this chest with his buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other guard looks away. And then as you guys put the chest down, he just kind of awkwardly bows to you and then
Also flirting.
and then walks off.
Please tell me you say that in character.
Yes!
Ansel nods sagely, for whatever ungodly reason, trusting Idzy to be good with people.
Such a bad move. Such a bad move.
You're not there. Ro isn't there. It's just us two buffoons.
Mm-hmm.
With that, the manservant comes into the room. I would appreciate it if you'd not fluster the soldiers.
It's a little easier than I thought we had. I thought we were going to have to, but sure.
They have a job to do. Please.
So I did it.
Yes, and
Better.
I appreciate the help, but let them do their job without distractions.
Has it been that long? Oh, I'm not there. I have such a good comeback, but I'm not there.
No, if Ansel 100% interpreted that as you're distracting, like schoolgirls who wear spaghetti straps are distracting to their cohort.
100%.
To me?
100%. If carrying a chest, like a heavy object with
Yes.
someone else is enough to make them flustered, they at least
No.
need to go masturbate or something.
No, I'm willing to bet he's talking about the magics, but he didn't specify. And Ansel's got a charisma
know.
of 1, so.
No,
Does
you
anyone
have a
want to see a
charisma of
pink
+1.
belly?
I
Of course.
I know that seems weird, but that means that she's finally eating enough that her body thinks that she can like put it into growing, and their bellies get pink before they shed because that like all of the blood is going to their skin as they make like an entirely new surface organ. So, as this child didn't eat for 6 months, this is
Yeah.
a very big and exciting sign, in addition to being a cute little pink belly.
Mm-hmm. Love snakes.
You got belly.
Please continue with the D&D.
The manservant with that just kind of turns and walks back out of the room. You hear him speaking to Irina in another room.
Can I eavesdrop? Like,
Sure, give me a perception check.
how perceptive am
You hear them
Ooh, we're
talking,
not.
but you can't make out what they're saying. You just hear voices on another side of a wall.
Damn.
I haven't articulated this out loud before. I'm sure I've thought it at some point, but I do wish Ro were here.
Do you think
How
that
long?
often?
I mean, y'all had, like, we went to opposite sides of town, because if you recall, they're like, not close.
Yeah.
You had your whole conversation, and then you were coming. So, I don't know if you'll be there. I
mean, it would be nice to overhear what they're talking about.
It would, and she just seems to have a knack for those things.
She probably wouldn't have taken too kindly to being called a distraction, though.
I'm on the contrary. Again, bad with people. I think she would have taken it as a compliment.
Is that what that's supposed to mean?
Oh, please. Ansel does like a weird feminine body wiggle, but is still in their like chainmail, so it jangles and looks very blocky and weird, and is like, distraction jingle.
Very nice.
You're
Very
making
nice.
quite a bit of noise. That's fair. Okay. I don't know if Itzy would actually be flustered because I'm like, Ansel's my type, but is Ansel Itzy's type? I don't think so.
Clearly you need to do some soul searching about your character's type, and I'll let you do that.
Thank
but
you.
I was not about to let that piece
That
of
was
comedy
beautiful.
gold
That was
roll
gorgeous.
by. But yeah, we're both useless in terms of like info gathering and sneakery. I'm very loud.
We'll pummel
So-
the shit out of something, though.
I will fight a bitch. I'm very much enjoying the banter. Did Elodie go with them actually?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
It was not
Gus does.
So
here.
she is also not there.
cool. That was a terrible. Who let us go alone?
Well, because we thought we weren't going to be dealing with people. So we stayed.
Technically, we're not. They're like unnamed NPCs mostly. We're fine. They only have the plot armor that exists in like this realm as a whole, so but yeah, Ansel's gonna be like, maybe we should like walk the perimeter or something. They all seem a little bit antsy to go outside. Do they have a carriage?
Yeah.
Are we walking?
No.
What is our mode of transport? Actually,
There
no.
was-
We 100% need to do some actual work.
There was actually a carriage that was talked about because I believe they're riding in it, as well as they offered us one to go with, if I remember correctly.
Jingle
Yeah.
jangly walk into the room where they are talking. And
Trot behind.
well, I don't want to like. I'd love to eavesdrop, but let's be real.
As you get to the door, just before opening the door, you hear, Are you sure you want to leave, mistress? Perhaps if you visited her, she would leave us alone. Maybe just find out what she wants. No. We have to leave. I don't care what she wants. But I'll not be able to go with you. Would you leave me? And then you walk in.
Ooh, emotional struggles.
Pardon. There was mention of a carriage. We figured best make our use outside, checking that out, making sure it's all ready to go and warded however possible.
Secure and all that.
If you still intend to take it.
Of course, there's a stable, just outside the gate on the west road. He'll escort you. Of course, madam. And he kind of looks at you.
And I look at him. And he looks at me.
It's very much a defeated look on his face.
Oh, buddy.
And then he just walks by you and makes his way to the front door to leave.
It's rough.
I'm bad at comforting the living.
We have to.
I think he's sad.
But he didn't like us.
That doesn't make him less of a person. I
No,
don't
but I
understand.
don't think that he wants somebody who he doesn't like to attempt to make him feel better.
Again, there's just like a little Ansel thinks that Itzy is good with people, like comes up on your like Fallout HUD.
We just get like random little promotions over here, like really guiding a person here. Like, you're doing such a good job, and you're just like, fucking no.
Cool. Did I expect this like tense intellectual battle / probable romance between Elodie and Asta? No. Am I willing to ship it? Yes. Did I time all of these comments for when Misha joined us? Yes.
Yes.
Goodness.
That is in no way relevant to what's happening. That was just for you,
Not at
babe.
all.
So yeah, as long as the guards seem to have the perimeter covered, it's day. They should be fine. They look like they've been in. They look like they've been in a fight before, right?
The outside of the house looks like it has been assaulted, yes.
No. The guards look like they've been in a fight before. We don't got none of these like patriot militia boys who are like, man, I wish I could punch someone.
No,
Haven't
yeah,
ever been in a fight vibe.
They carry themselves similar to like the Cathars you've seen, at the church. Maybe not as trained as the Cathars from the church, but like they carry themselves kind of with that same demeanor.
Okay. As long as they've been in a fight before, I don't feel terrible leaving the house unguarded. But yeah, we'll head to the stables and check that shit out.
All right. So the manservant leads you guys to the stable. Whenever you get there, it's a very rundown stable. No one seems to really be taking care of it. like someone, there seems to be like there's water in a trough, and like there are some stalls, but the horses don't seem to be in the stalls. It just seems like they just let them out into the pad. And the stalls are mostly just being used for like tack storage.
Okay.
And so he leads you out in the kind of the barn of the stables. There's a large covered wagon with the sigil of the Burgermeister on it. And then there are several, not several, but like 2 or 3 just regular wagons. One of them is a covered wagon. The other 2 are just like opening scene of Skyrim type wagons.
Okay.
Thank you for that very important and relevant cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
That sounded sarcastic as it came out of my mouth, but I meant it sincerely. So, like, coda.
We were talking about Oblivion like last night. You're fine.
Do I make a lot
Happening?
of so not actually a lot has happened since like the plot wise the last session. Basically, we are tying up loose ends in Shadow Grange so that we can get on the road, because remember, we think the answers to our quest, as it were, are in Lamas, and like the Burgermeister's son and his wife asked us to like go along, and for various reasons like that seemed chill, so we are now getting them ready. We finished the funeral, confronted the vampire, learned that they like worship Sigarda here, and it's weird and definitely probably heresy. A crew that like is good at talking to people went to go sell the inn. We escorted them back, and now we're kind of converging on our way out of town. So like, you good.
Final
Who am I
preparation.
with?
You're with the well-spoken people.
Why?
It's me, you, and Asta.
I am terrible at speaking.
I think because Mare was like handling you, and that was that group.
Got it. Got it. Yeah,
Pretty
me
much.
and my 11 charisma should not be allowed anywhere.
I should be doing more with mine, but I just don't even know.
Yeah. Okay, I understand what's happening now. There was another thought I had related to something that Alex said, but it's gone now.
Was it about the hot ship I'm about to just
No,
like
I'm
smash the
just-
champagne on and push out to sea?
I did read some of the talk in the chat and went, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it.
You really didn't miss all that.
I know I had maybe it was a question for Dean based off something Alex said.
Are you talking
it
about the
comes back
wisdom
to
feat?
you.
Because that's mostly what
No.
we've been chatting about, and I
No,
do
no.
want to know what wisdom feat you want, so I don't take it.
Normally I take observant, but you could take whatever you want, but I'll figure it out.
Halfway through typing out observant would be very fitting and excellent for your character as a school teacher. Eyes in the back of their head. So please, I will leave observant to you and take medic. Let's go.
Okay, thank you. I legitimately I can't. I'm so mad.
It's okay. If it comes
But it was
back,
like
we can.
an important game question and it's gone.
It's okay.
This happens to me all the time.
If it
Thanks,
comes
Dean.
back to you,
It
we'll
won't.
address it.
It never will. It's gone forever. Okay.
Okay.
So we're with team that did something else. What did you do?
We are all meeting up at the house.
Okay.
You guys arrive at the house. The tavern party arrives at the house around the same time that Wink does.
I have our racing cart that we left at the inn.
Okay.
Good wink.
So are you at the tavern or?
Wherever we left it, I believe it was the tavern. I probably went to go get it, and as they were coming out, I just
Okay.
followed them.
Okay. Then yes. So you guys met Wink at the tavern, and then all of you collectively went back to the house. However, when you get there, Ansel and Idzi are not there.
Did they see us leave?
No.
I have a question
Yes.
for my brain so I can orient myself, despite the fact that I was not present with Ansel and Idzi. Where is this stable that you are speaking about?
So
Not
generally,
attached to the house.
yeah, generally
But on
stables
a estate.
are on like the like entrances and exits from the town. So this stable would be where they house their carriage.
Is
Yes.
the community stable, not an estate
Yes.
stable. That is what I was
Correct.
confused about.
So
I was
on
like-
the map, it would be over in this area.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, because you were describing things, and the person in me who worked in a barn was like trying to like envision, and I was like, wait, where is it?
Yeah,
And
it's
I
out here. So like the paddock that the horses are in are probably like in this patch of grass over here.
got it.
And then you've got like the stable itself, which is just kind of being used for storage, and then like the barn.
Excellent. Thank you. My
Mhm.
brain has been oriented.
All right. So yeah, so you guys get back to the house. The soldiers will, if you ask, the soldiers will explain to you that the manservant took Idzi and Ansel to the stable to look at the horses and the carriage.
Are they coming back? Or are we all taking all of this stuff there? Is this going to be a pickup? Or do I need to take myself to the pickup point?
One of us will go to get a wagon and bring it back so that we don't have to carry everything to the stable. And then
Super.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please tell me what sort of decision mechanism those lads choose for the unlucky soul who gets to walk down to the stable, not only, but then face the two very weirdo women who are already there. One of who does magic, and the other whom is definitely trying to tell the one that does magic that they're hitting on her.
They draw straws.
I was about to say the group at the house sees the guards. They get together and they all draw
Or
straws.
they play rock, paper, scissors.
Boulder parchment shears.
Okay. Chris, please.
Tie by Pope.
I just hope it's the one that like dropped the thing earlier.
Is it?
Dean is trying to decide how badly he wants to hurt this NPC.
They're unnamed. They will never reappear except if Dean decides to be really strange after re-listening to these recordings.
How many
Always
inspirations are required for a feat?
12.
12.
Thank you.
So they draw straws. And there's an interesting. You see them draw straws with the kind of expectation of like, the short straw is like, like that's a bad thing. You don't want the short straw.
Then you gotta go, yeah.
One of the soldiers gets the short straw. Sort of a gangly fellow with like rough red hair. But he doesn't look unhappy. Two of the older guards kind of put a hand on his shoulder and one of them, as he's leaving, good luck, lad.
Is he about to be like a blood sacrifice?
Apparently.
Us.
Hell yes. I'm glad that comment was for you, Rem, so I'm glad you saw that.
And with that, the gangly red-headed soldier walks out the door, never to be heard from again. I'm just playing.
You gotta make it to us.
Then they take another one to get go down and tell him to bring the carriage.
With that, a little bit of time goes by. You guys are warding the carriage. You see the soldier, the gangly red-headed soldier whose shoulder was brushed previously by Ansel, walking up to the warehouse. He walks into the barn where the carts are and the carriage. He sees you over there warding the...
I was about to say, very clearly doing magics. Oops.
And he, as he walks in, he kind of stops for a moment, takes a deep breath, fixes his uniform.
I am not helping with warding because I sure as fuck don't know how. Can I be like in the like he has walked in, he has walked past me because I'm guarding the front and I get to watch all of this?
So he doesn't notice you.
Fuck yes.
So like he walks in, sees Ansel warding the carriage, and very much just kind of,
Oh, baby.
and then like takes a step forward.
Himself up.
Lady Ansel,
Oh, yes. Sorry.
do you need any assistance with anything?
Do you have consecrated ashes or any connection to the divine?
He awkwardly checks his pockets.
Dean! Dean! Oh, fuck!
No. I must have left it in my other trousers. So, I'm so sorry. Is there's something else? I need to get a cart. Thank you. And then he walks away toward the carts.
I'm literally warding the cart.
There are more than one? I feel like Dean said there's
Yes,
more than one.
there were 3 carts. So 1 covered, 2 uncovered.
So then what the fuck am I warding?
I thought you were warding the carriage that people were actually going to be riding in.
Yes. Okay, so he's getting one of the others. Cool. All right. I thought he was just like turning and walking towards a cart that wasn't his.
So good.
Because I do occasionally map out these scenes as someone would like shoot it via camera. Like he comes in and like we watch him kind of from the side as he walks, and then the camera pivots and you see it's because Idzy's in the corner like chewing a piece of straw, and so you realize like, oh, up to the point it's been Idzy's point of view, and we go back to that and watch that whole scene as he makes a complete dunce of himself from Idzy. And occasionally it'll flash to over Ansel's shoulder so you can see his poor face as he fidgets and Idzy blurry in the background like, yeah! Please.
That is precisely what I saw. Bless.
You know, that TV show that your parents always watched and therefore you internalized because they just always had it on?
The West Wing.
Exactly. My mother watched CSI Miami, not because she likes police procedurals, but because she really loved their use of camera work and lighting because she's a semi-professional photographer.
That is the cutest
Nice.
thing I've ever heard. I
Yeah,
did not
she's
know this about your mother, and it's
adorable.
adorable.
She's adorable. So I have just this like sense when I look at things now that I'm like, yeah, you definitely need to pan over the Everglades this way.
So good.
Very
Fucking
nice.
perfect.
So yeah, so you're warding the actual carriage for transporting persons. He goes and grabs a quarter horse from the paddock and brings it in, tacks it up to one of the carts, and then
A quarter horse?
yeah, why not?
Drafting capability?
They're not
Oh.
drafting. It's like a carriage. It's not like they're pulling like
He said a cart.
loads.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, we are pulling a load.
Yeah.
A carriage and a cart full of stuff.
The carriage could be pulled by draft horses. Do you want to quiz me on the relative
No.
force carrying capacity of various horses? Because let's fucking go.
No.
Literally
Did I-
Googled it. I actually Googled it because I was like, I think Meredith has a point, and I'm like, at what point in the breeding stock are we of quarter horses? Like,
So I would argue that these quarter horses are friends because I did read a study about how quarter horses who are friends will be able to pull more weight. So like, don't come at me about the relative pulling
No, it's
capacity
not,
of
but they're, like,
BFF
short.
horses.
they're short, distant runner horses. Like they're race horses. They're not meant to pull
And
things.
ranch horses, not pulling horses.
Yeah.
Wink would like to talk to one of the soldiers.
okay. What would
Miles is like, my kin
Miles
is in
would like to
danger.
take Dean from this conversation.
Like,
It
It doesn't
I
have
just
to be
want to
a
get
Clydesdale.
out. I just want to get out of this town. Wink just
This
wants
is-
to get out of this town.
that's great. This is my last comment about the horses. They're literally called quarter horses because they're meant to run
on the
a
quarter
quarter
mile.
of a mile a single time around the track.
I remember that fact for some reason. I am going to remember it and for some reason just spit it out to someone and they could be like, "What are you talking about?"
Please do it at work.
Anyway. Okay. That's why I needed to look it up because I was like, aren't they called quarter horses because they're meant to run a quarter of a mile?
Yes, what do the guards say? What does Wink interrogate these poor guards about?
Wink needs to know who all is coming with us. Are the guards coming with us? Is the old man coming with us? Or is it just going to be the husband and wife?
the guards are not sure. They seem to be preparing themselves to leave. Like they are packing arms and things like that into a crate. So it seems like they are under the impression that they are going, but no order has actually been given for them to accompany. So
Okay.
it's kind of a be prepared to leave, but we don't know what the actual.
Wink is now going to question them about fighting tactics that they have. Do they know maneuvers? Are they knowledgeable in different fighting styles? What's their go-to?
I just want them to feel cut down to size and less of men.
What's their go-to formations that they do? How many are there? 4 or 3?
It was 6 in total. So there are 5 at the house and then 1
Okay.
at the stable.
He's on his way back.
Wink's gonna try to figure out what their fighting style is, and essentially he wants to know how good of a unit they are together.
Okay. So they'll kind of they'll talk to you, kind of sharing their expertise and knowledge, kind of their training, what they've gone through, what they've done, kind of going through some of the training formations that they have. They aren't to the level of the like Cathars, but they aren't like peasant militia either. So they seem to have had some form of training, and then they seem to carry themselves in a way that they've seen combat. Like you can tell they fought things, but their combat is more wolves and zombies, as opposed to like, you know, going to war with other people, and then kind of just surviving like vampire attacks. So their fighting style is a lot more survival based than like battlefield, let's go to war based.
Okay. Well, what? Wink's gonna be like, okay. I'm very trained, very skilled. I've been working for the church as a soldier for years. If you are accompanying us every morning, and I'll give a specific time, like 6 o'clock. Wake up your men. We'll practice.
That's not bad.
We'll practice. Do some training. Get to be on more of a unit so that I can get to know how you guys fight. That way, if combat does occur, which I assume, since I've been here, we've had lots of experience with it, we'll be a better cohesive unit.
They agree.
Very good. And then Wink just walks off.
Okay. Back at the stable, the soldier starts to. Actually, no, Elodie and Ro are not there. So the soldier tacks up a quarter horse and puts it on the wagon, and then starts leading it back toward the estate. He then turns before he leaves to Ansel. Do you want to walk back, or with or by yourself, or with, or are you waiting for everyone else, or
Are they walking back by themselves?
he turns, oh, huh,
Hello.
and he bows.
Charming.
They're all going to be coming through here, yes, to get the carriage and the other cart?
Yes, or yes.
Okay, well I'll finish warding here then, and they'll meet us once this is ready.
Oh, okay. It was nice to see you. And then he leaves.
Told you he was flirting.
How? Fade to black.
So he gets back to the estate with the cart being drawn by the quarter horse. Two of the guards, as he approaches, come out. Two of the older guards, the two who had actually sent him off, and they both kind of look at him, and then they look at the horse, and then they look at him, and then look at the horse, and then him. She got to you, didn't she? No, 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 no. I spoke.
Do they think she possessed him?
Lad, you got the wrong horse. What? What? But he looks strong. What's the difference? One of them shakes his head. The other, again, puts his hand on the boy's shoulder, the young man's shoulder. Just go inside. The other guard who was shaking his head just kind of takes off through the field, instead of following the road, up and then over to the stable. He just kind of cuts through the field to where the horses are in the paddock. Grabs a horse, a much stronger, larger horse. Tacks it up. You don't actually see him. He doesn't actually come into the barn. He just grabs the tack from the stable itself, tacks the horse up, and then leads it over to the house, and then puts it on the cart. Then he looks over to the redheaded young man. All right, Reggie, take it back. And he rides the horse through the field back to the paddock. With that, the guards start loading crates onto the wagon. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before we just wrap up the loading and heading out?
I'm solid.
No, this is beautiful and everything I wanted. Thank you.
That's a big cat, Remy.
This is my little one.
That's a big cat.
She's like maybe 12 pounds. Al is 18 and a half.
My heavens.
That's bigger than Lottie.
He's also not like rotund. He's just a big dude. He's orange.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
a
nothing.
Crookshanks cat. Cool.
Yeah, but like pleasant.
I will be joining a work call.
That's fine. I was gonna say let's take our break right now.
Cool.
Alex, I'm not tagging you on Instagram because I didn't think you would.
Very happy.